Mama Grace wasn't supposed to survive that night in Port Harcourt General Hospital. The doctors had given up, the nurses were shaking their heads, and her husband had already fled with their savings, leaving her alone with 3 tiny children and a mountain of medical bills. But Grace Kioma wasn't ready to die. Not yet. Not with 6-year-old Chibuzo, 4-year-old Adana, and 2-year-old Olayinka depending on her. She fought through the night, clutching her grandmother's coral beads, whispering prayers between labored breaths. When morning came, she was still there, weak but alive. The same couldn't be said for her small provisions shop, which had been looted during her hospital stay. Everything was gone, even the wooden shelves her father had built. "God will make a way," she told her children as they huddled in their one-room apartment off Aba Road. That night, she sold her wedding rings to buy rice and beans. It would be the first of many sacrifices. Grace started small, frying akara by the roadside at dawn, selling pure water during the scorching afternoon heat, and cleaning offices at night. Her children barely saw her, but they always found hot meals, waiting when they returned from school. She had converted their tiny kitchen into a classroom where they studied by candlelight, even when the electricity failed. Then came the twist that nearly broke them. Fire ravaged their building, destroying everything except Grace's coral beads and her children's school certificates. They slept in an uncompleted building for 3 months. But while other mothers would have sent their children to relatives in the village, Grace refused. "My children will not be scattered," she declared, her voice firm even as her hands trembled. She didn't know then that Chibuzo was sneaking out at dawn to help market women carry loads, saving every kobo. Or that Adana was tutoring younger children in their compound for small change. Or that little Olayinka was collecting and selling empty bottles behind her back. The turning point came when Grace collapsed at her akara spot. Her children found her medical diagnosis, severe hypertension. That night, they made a pact. Chibuzo, now 12, stood tall. "Mama will never fry akara again." They pooled their secret savings. It was enough to rent a small shop. Grace wept when her children revealed the money they'd been saving. The shop grew, then multiplied. 1 became 2, 2 became 5. Years passed like pages turning in the wind. Chibuzo studied at night, earned a scholarship to study engineering. Adana's mathematical genius earned her international recognition. Olayinka taught himself coding using a second-hand phone. Today, people marvel at the success stories. Chibuzo heads Nigeria's largest indigenous construction company, Adana is CEO of a Pan-African investment firm, and Olayinka's tech company is valued at millions of dollars. But in Port Harcourt, old-timers still remember the woman who fried akara by Aba Road, her wrapper tied tight around her waist, 3 young children doing their homework on empty cartons nearby. They remember how she would give free akara to hungry school children, saying, "Every child is my child." Grace still lives in Port Harcourt in a beautiful house her children built. She keeps her coral beads and her old kerosene stove, refusing to let them go. "These," she tells her grandchildren, "are my medals of honor." Every Sunday, her 3 CEO children still gather at her house, eating akara that she insists on frying herself. They've offered to hire cooks, but she refuses. "Some things," she says, her eyes twinkling, "money cannot buy." The taste of a mother's love is one of them. In boardrooms across Africa, they're known as business titans. But in their mother's kitchen, they're still her little ones, fighting over who gets the crispiest akara, while Grace watches, fingering her coral beads, thanking God for the strength she found on that hospital bed so many years ago. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment for more videos.